Travelers on the Omnibus occasionally touches on mature subject matter with mature language. As such, the audience discretion is advised. Hey everybody, it is Travelers on the Omnibus, a field trip through nerd and pop culture. My name is James McCarthy.
My name's Ethan Skinner.
I'm Jody Kite.
I'm Brady Davis.
And to my right, and as a super duper guest star, we have...
My name is Michael Hill, and I'm from the Whiskey and Wrestling Podcast. We're taking back over again. Somebody get me a chair.
Yeah, like a legitimate
All the chairs that we have in here are too heavy for any of us to lift.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yes, we're very weak alpha sigmas. What is the male that's the worst? What's the worst?
I think it would be omegas.
Omegas?
Yeah,
Okay.
omega
That's how
male.
that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
okay.
yeah, we're technically betas, I guess.
Okay, betas.
Yeah,
okay.
beta cucks.
Yeah,
Beta cucks. Okay,
yeah.
there you
Yeah.
go. Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't really know how to lead off from that part.
Yeah,
so,
where do you go from that?
Fuck it, Michael. What have you been up to?
Oh, just watching wrestling, drinking whiskey, and talking about it.
Can we talk about
It's almost as if y'all should maybe do a podcast about that.
Right? Like,
Yeah, I want to talk about your recent tragic loss. So you were in the room when all of the whiskey died.
yes.
Oof.
The shelf gave out, and all of my whiskey was, well, not all of it, but a significant portion, a lot of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Was
We
the
lost them.
was the blue on that shelf?
The blue was on that shelf. The blue survived.
Oh, thank God.
That's good.
Thank
Explain
God.
to the audience that may not know how expensive some of that whiskey
All
might
right.
have been.
So the Johnny Walker Blue that did survive, that bottle was $250.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if it didn't break, I'm pretty sure $200 of that dollars is for the bottle itself.
Yeah.
Thank you to my father-in-law, Harry, for purchasing that for us.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a couple $100 bottles of whiskey up there. There was some $25, $20, $40 bottle of whiskey. There was some $70 and $80 bottles that were there.
Basically, day drinker whiskey.
No, so I maybe not smartly, but I was like, I'm going to put the stuff I like on the top shelf so it can be the top shelf liquor,
Right. Just like in the liquor
Yeah.
store.
And maybe that was the wrong decision. The thing is I looked at it that day, the day that it happened. I looked at the shelf and I was like, I should probably rearrange some stuff. I'll do it later.
Mm-hmm.
Later
then-
never came.
That night, my wife and I were watching James Bond Thunderball, and it all came crashing down.
Sean Connery's boisterous vocals.
So you were all wet.
There were hot shingles.
Hot shingles in your area. You could date them.
Yeah, when you showed us that
Sean
picture, I
Connery.
was like, I almost made a joke. I was like, oh man, pour one out. Oh, but I decided not to out of respect for the fallen.
Brady postponed that for a whole week.
Yeah.
Our rug died because it soaked up so much liquor.
Yeah.
Just absorbed too
yeah.
much money.
I'm still like,
Your rug was way over the legal limit. Couldn't drive it all.
this happened several weeks ago. We have swept, we have mopped, and done all of that since then. And I still occasionally find a piece of glass
Oof.
from how much glass was just shattered on the
That shit is
floor.
annoying. I hate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, found a little shard.
Yeah, it's like, okay,
in
we
my
can't
foot.
we can't go barefoot anymore in the house.
Yep.
Not for a while.
But, we've started rebuilding. A couple of
We're
our
in a
friends-
rebuilding process.
Couple of
We've got
couple
some
of our
good
friends-
draft numbers.
You got to start with the emotional rebuilding first.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's sad. I'm not mad that I lost the whiskey. There's a couple that I'm sad that I lost.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, accidents happen. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But there's a couple I'm sad. There was a Crown Royal Winter Wheat, which was a special edition limited release.
And you were digging on that one on
And
the show,
I
I remember.
really liked that one. So I lost that one. I lost some Crown Royal Black. Some not necessarily super expensive. I didn't lose any Pappy, which, but I did.
All those whiskeys gone,
I
like
did lose
beers
some-
in the rain.
Like tears in the rain.
No, he said
said
beers.
beers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
There were
Proud of that one.
I've seen Louis XIII glow in the dark at Tannhauser Gate. If you had lost a bottle of Louis 13,
God.
I would have helped your suicide. Like, for those,
Censored.
In Oregon, it's fine. Anyway, so yeah, there we go. So. No, Louis 13, just real quick, is a ridiculously expensive bottle of alcohol. One bottle is $20,000.
Yeah.
Like, if you take a bottle of that and you go to any car dealership and give it to them, they must give you a car as an equal trade-in. The bottle itself, once empty, can be sold back to the company for $2,000.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Absurd.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
I will likely never have any of that.
No.
Yeah.
The fact that I ever got my hands on Johnny Walker Blue still kind of amazes me.
And that was sub 1,000. Like,
That's 250.
Yeah.
Like, that's
It's-
not hard to come up with if you really want to.
Yeah, Caitlin, I need to take out a mortgage on the house for a bottle
Of
of
alcohol.
It's for the cast. It's for the cast.
Yeah.
Why is there a notice from the bank from this loan? Did you get a car? No.
Down payment
I
for
did
some
get
whiskey.
something that will make me unable to drive the car. There you go. But yeah. All right, Ethan, let's continue on this wonderful project because y'all are splitting a mic tonight.
Yes, me. Yes, as of our recording time, yesterday was 4th of July, and so
Happy birthday, America.
happy birthday, America. Me and Bianca, we went over to a couple friends' house and just had a nice 4th of July party. I made this buffalo chicken dip. She made corn dip.
Wait, I made this buffalo chicken dip she made. What?
She made this corn dip.
She made
comma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, there was a comma
I
there.
didn't I didn't hear the punctuation. My bad.
Had a lot of food. Played a lot of Jackbox with like 10, 15 people in the house. I think.
Like which games in particular? Because I'm
a lot of Quiplash,
Quiplash
Trivia
is
Murder
fun.
Party,
yeah.
and then we got a little bit of Faking It. In.
Okay, I like faking it.
I think everyone liked the Quiplash one because it's the funniest one of all of them.
I like the one from 8, and I can't remember the name of it, where you have to present a project to like it's a corporate production thing, except one person keeps picking the shit for you, and then you have to like just kind of wing it.
I know
love
what you're
that.
talking about.
I love that game.
one.
Jackbox has like evolved so
Yeah,
much
oh, yeah.
over the years. I remember when the first one came out, it was just a trivia game, really. Didn't have many bells and whistles to it.
And you still have I think 1 and 5 are the last two that had like the actual trivia game in there. I just like the notion of the randomness of the games, the difference in the game, and just the irreverent fun of it.
Yeah, if you're gonna go random and absurd, go full on.
Yeah. So we did all that. We watched the fireworks go off in Biloxi from Ocean Springs, because they have the nice condos on Beach Drive, and so we watched those. And then
I was hoping you'd say we broke in. It's a nice old couple. We had to hold them back with guns. You know, it'd be great.
We broke in and we robbed everybody in the condo and burn it down. But, we also watched the fireworks while we were there.
yeah.
It was a great family bonding experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna pitch shift that so it sounds like Ethan, so he's admitting to crimes, and then our whole getting him arrested thing will be complete from last week.
Celebrate America's birthday by robbing some old people's condos.
that's
British old people.
Oh, they're British.
Yeah.
I'm still hearing nothing but American things.
He's not wrong.
It is both enlightening and sad at the same time.
Yes. And then also we played a board game that you actually gifted us many months ago.
Yes, and we found some discrepancies in reality regarding it. It's just weird. Yeah, but no, detail and continue.
A few months ago, around December, I want to say, Jay was was purging all of his board games and just started handing select ones to select peoples. And he asked me, "Hey, what would be a board game that you'd want me to like keep an eye out?" And I said something that me and Bianca would probably enjoy. And he was like, "Okay, gotcha." And then literally the next day at work, he came up to me and gave me Bargain Quest. Imagine D&D, where the adventurers go into town, buy get equipment, go out, slay a monster, except you're the shopkeeper, and so you're acquiring all these items that you're trying to persuade heroes go into your shop to purchase your wares, and then those heroes in turn represent your store as they go and defeat monsters. And so it's very fun, very light, a very light game.
Do you have the option of denying an adventurer an invisible item of any kind, like a ring or a potion? because that was always something fun to do in D&D. Sorry, sir, we're completely out of those boots.
You can sell them an invisible cloak.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
It's not invisible. They're perfectly visible, and then the monster kills them.
Yes.
You can see the boots.
We liked it quite a lot. We brought it to the 4th of July party, and there is some discrepancies with the copy that Jay gave us.
Yeah, like because this is concerning. So I have played Bargain Quest and I owned it, yet somehow the copy that I have is still completely wrapped.
Yeah, like all the decks were completely in there. Like the
and there's extra stuff in there.
They're in their cellophane and all this shit. And then it's a game for 6 players.
But there's
a
7.
7th board.
Yeah. And none of the boards match the other.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened.
That's so weird.
I may have given you like a board game and a quarter. That might be from something else. I don't know.
Did Temu exist in December when you gave it to him?
It's mine. Prices blow my mind. Temu, get out of my brain.
Spend like a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we just had a really nice 4th of July. So yeah, that's been me.
There we go. Continuing down the line, 1, Jody L. Kite.
I celebrated the birthday of the nation by watching the American Gladiators documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think it's a little too long.
So the problem nowadays that with documentaries is that they're all too fucking long. Most things are going to be like limited series,
right?
And when they could just be like a 2-hour movie,
right? Yeah. So instead of releasing it as just a standalone movie, they decided to release it in 3 episodes all at once.
Yep.
Because that makes 0 sense when your whole thing takes about 2.5 hours to watch. One episode was like 50 minutes, one episode was 30 minutes, and then another episode was like about an hour. And it's like, you could have trimmed that down a little bit. But anyway, it was interesting.
Must have content.
Yeah, it was interesting. Well, they repeated a couple of scenes got repeated because they did that. But that might be why they went episodic with it. But it was it was enlightening. It was also interesting to see like how these were, like seeing a show like that, you just see how people are portrayed on TV. And as they said on the show, it was 89 is when it debuted. And with the exception of Cops, which was not scripted, reality TV didn't exist. There was no actual reality TV, not as it became over the years. So it was a very interesting way of seeing how in a different light, seeing how these were all athletes. They weren't. None of them were actors. They were all athletes of like one caliber or another. One of them used to be a football player and got hurt and couldn't do football anymore, and so forth and so on. Also, it was interesting to see how much money these people got paid, or I should say, didn't get paid. They didn't get paid much. They all got paid per diem $500 an episode.
Going further than that, no medical benefits. So if you got injured during this physical show, you had to pay for it out of pocket.
They signed what is now considered illegal contracts from a corporation, which basically you sign away your rights for everything in case anything happens. So whenever the show took off in like season 2 or 3 and merchandise started happening, they didn't get any money off of their likenesses that were on lunch boxes and all that shit. It goes a little bit deeper on some of the athletes on the show. It's an interesting watch, even if you never watched the show. It's interesting just to see, because it's a very different light on different parts of the 80s. Because they also had a steroid scandal that was happening during the same time the WWE scandal was happening. Yeah, right.
American Gladiator had a steroid scandal? Say it isn't so.
Whoa. So
your drug is a life taker. Literally.
Another thing I did was I finished my session of adventure of Blade Runner from the starter kit that my buddy Connell was running with me, his wife, and our buddy Anthony Ryan, and we wrapped it up really nicely. It was a fun experience. So Much
That's
like
that's the Free League one, right?
the Free League Blade Runner 2049
Okay, yeah.
game. And so it was very movie like in a lot of the explanations of the different scenarios we were dealing with. Pardon me. Coca-Cola. So we come to find out in the scenario that different things start becoming more understandable. The police force is actually pretty much owned by a corporation who supplies replicants to the police station and that kind of thing. And so my character, after we unravel the mystery of why an officer, replicant department officer, was shot by another officer to protect the conspiracy, I role played my character. I'm like, okay, because they're trying to shotgun through everything to try and get all the loose ends up or whatever. It's like, okay, so I'm gonna make sure that I get my bit in because this is the last time we're playing these characters because they're pre-gens or whatever. But we all we went hard into it, and I turned to Anthony Ryan's character and turned to Gene's character. So it's been great working with you on these cases over the past couple of years. And then I went through this whole spiel or whatever, and I basically threw my badge on the desk and I told the chief officer, I was like, "You can go to hell though." And then I immediately went to the magazine and started telling him, "Hey, if you want the rights to my life story, which won't be long, I'll be happy to tell you how corrupt the department is at the LAPD RDU unit." And then my character got shot 6 months later.
Yeah.
Buying flowers, very Godfather-esque, It was very cool stuff.
Yeah, Joey, I just got to ask you. So you're walking down the way and you see a turtle on its back baking in the hot sun. You think about flipping it over, but you don't. Why is that?
I don't know.
Replicant! Bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, you're a replicant.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
right. That's what the Turing test.
Yeah, that's a void comp test.
Yeah. What else did I do? I did something else. Oh yeah, I played a Magic tournament yesterday. My memory is shit.
That was I was there for it.
Yeah, you were.
Yes.
You paid somebody else's entry to try and win.
Yeah, I told him that if he didn't win, I would hurt him.
He didn't win.
And
I
so-
stopped him from winning.
So JT, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you, JT.
I took one of those infamous 20-minute turns on my turn. I took a very long, because the problem with, if there's any one problem at the shop that we can really talk about, it is the fact that some of our friends like for the shop to babysit for them. And one friend in particular has multiple children around and under the age of 12, 8, 4, 2, I don't fucking know. And I'm trying to win on my turn, and every 5 seconds, this little toddler comes up, "Daddy!" screaming in my ear while, it's not important. Whatever is happening is not important. And I'm about to punch somebody in the throat. Because I'm trying to focus, and there's all this noise. It's not just a child. There's 50 million people in the shop. And I'm trying to
There was also a Pokemon tournament running concurrent with your.
There's that. There was a bunch of people there because it was 4th of July, and there was a lot of stuff going on. Free hot dogs, free pizza, fun times or whatever. And I enjoyed myself thoroughly. It's just the people I'm playing with are expecting me to play as fast as I can, even though I know what I'm doing. I have to keep changing what I'm doing because the distractions are very loud and could have been silenced in a very legal manner. I don't want him to body slam his child or anything like that. But
I'll bring out the 38.
Yeah. I'll argue with a child, but I'm not punching somebody else's kid. That's not cool, man.
Loud child. Have you considered a Kalashnikov?
Jesus.
Problem solves itself. Censored.
Fucking Michael.
Aren't you glad you're here tonight?
Oh, I am.
good.
So glad.
It's
I'm
funny
here.
because we say terrible shit all the time, but we save the really terrible shit for this show.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah. What we call the Russian babysitter. The AK-47. the Kalashnikov.
It's kind of overkill in my opinion.
You think you just stick to 38?
You just need 22.
22, okay.
I mean, yeah, ammo's gotten pretty expensive.
Yeah,
lately.
you can get like a box of 200.
2 inches of water in a bathtub works wonders.
You know how hard it would be to like strap my bathtub to the car to drive it to the shop to drown children?
No, I don't.
There's sinks in the
You
bathroom.
just get a U-Haul trailer.
Oh, then you can also haul the dead bodies off.
Yeah.
You just give someone
Brady,
the life.
Brady, one more time.
Censored.
All right, there we go.
Okay.
All right,
All
good
right,
stuff.
moving on.
Only that part will be cut. Everything else will stay in.
Yeah,
That's
we
the way
got to
it
leave
is.
in the Nazis and school shootings. Everything else gets cut, though.
Yeah. When we talk about Nazis, we talk about killing Nazis. Though.
Yeah.
This is very
Yes.
important.
The opinions expressed on Travelers in the Omnibus
Do not reflect
do
whiskey
not
and
reflect
wrestling
whiskey and wrestling's
at all.
opinions.
There you go. There you go.
Or travelers on the omnibus, for that matter.
Yeah. There you go. Brady, what we got, brother?
Yeah. So Saturday, friend of the pod Holder and I went to Hattiesburg to the record shop up there, Two Bone Records. Got a few records. I got a couple records between us. I got a picture disc of an album we're going to be talking about later.
Oh, very nice.
And then I got a not super easy to find MF Doom record. Was looking for Sleep Token, but they didn't have it. But next time I go up there, I'm probably just going to call ahead, so maybe they can order it. That's what the guy was saying to try and do. But then went to Top Tier, and we got some things from. I got the Thousand Suns boarding patrol, so now I have
That's cool.
pretty much as many rubric Marines as I need, and really and truly all I need is like Magnus. I ordered a Chaos Sorcerer so I can kit bash it into a Thousand Suns Chaos Sorcerer.
I dig it.
Because that's what you have to do in 40K apparently.
Yeah.
And then Sunday we played, Holder and I played a Combat Patrol game. It was Space Marines versus Thousand Suns. It was actually a pretty close game. I feel better with this Combat Patrol against something that doesn't have like a big armored thing.
Yeah.
Because this has nothing to fucking take down armor. It was pretty close. I think we ended up like there was no point in like playing out the full last round, but we kind of totaled up what could be done in it, and he had like 4 points on me, I think.
Not bad.
Yeah. But and then yesterday played some games up here. We played Marvel United, really fun game. We got absolutely whooped by Dr. Doom, and then we beat the Shadow King's ass. So that was fun. Yeah, that's really it.
All right.
I haven't been doing very much.
Cool beans. Yeah. I have been doing even less.
Hey, Jay, what you been doing?
It's still all about Tears of the Kingdom, baby. I got all the shrines finally, so I'm as powered up as far as life and stamina is going to get for me.
How many hearts does that give you?
That is, I think it's 30 out of the 32. Like, you can either have 3 full stamina wheels and 30 hearts, or you can have 32 hearts and 2 2/3 stamina wheel. And just being able to get up and move around is just way more important. And there's food that gives you more temporary hearts than food that gives you more temporary wheels. So in my opinion, strategically the best way to go about it is max out your stamina wheel first, and then get your hearts up as you're getting shrines. Some of those shrines are fucking ridiculous just to get to, and then once you get to them, it's like, oh, here's your treasure chest and your ability. Congratulations, good job. It's like, oh, thank you very much. And then some of them are just weirdo fucking puzzles. You can break those puzzles if you know to like just bring in Zonai devices on your shields and weapons going into the thing. There's a couple puzzles that if and when anybody at the table ends up getting Tears of the Kingdom, I'm having trouble with this puzzle, Jay, and I'm going to show you the way to beat it. And you're like, God damn it, Jay. It's like, yeah, it's one of those things. Like it's just there. Also, I got all the Sages wills, so it's powered up my Sages that I have in a group. It's weird because Breath of the Wild is a completely solitary game for the most part. It's just you as Link just going around. In this game, every time you finish one of the champions areas, it's not that you get that champion's power like you did in Breath. In this case, they actually become party members. They're ghosts, and they're not dead. They just send their spirits along with you, and they give you certain bonuses as well. But when they're in battle, they're actually fighting alongside you. And then if you find Sage's Wills, which is this item that is kind of comparable to the motes of light that get you your heart containers and your stamina wheels. In addition to that, it powers them up too. So now I'm just like taking out silver Lionels like it's nothing because I have like 5 of them. One of them's a mech because Zelda. What? But yeah, I mean it's the way it is. I love the mix of like aura punk that's mixed in like technology and
solar punk too, right?
Yeah, a little bit of solar punk, but really more aura punk with a very Mesoamerican look to it, which I thoroughly fucking.
Oh yeah, I like the look of the game. It looks really cool. I saw a really funny meme of like Link standing in front of what looked like a battle tank that he had built, and it says at the top, "Why walk to the castle in 5 minutes when I can spend 20 minutes building this thing and get there in 5 minutes?"
Yeah, there you go. One of my favorite things to do is you take a couple tree logs and you make a raft out of it, and then you put giant fans on the back and a steering column so that you can guide the thing along. Then you build ram scoops in front with like walls on the side, and then you put an electricity charge emitter in the front. And then what you do is you drive around the moat where all the fish are, it electrocutes them and kills them. And then you drive up into the dead school, and they just come into the boat. And then you just get out of there and just like, ah, ha, 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 ha.
Just grab them up.
And you get like dozens of fish this way. It's fucking amazing.
That's crazy.
There's so much stuff you can do with the system. This is truly Gary's mod in Legends of Zelda, and I'm just fucking enjoying every minute of it.
Right.
But yeah, that is what I've been doing pretty much and only. So, yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty. Passengers, thank you very much as always for stopping by with us and joining the ride with us. If you would like to leave feedback for future episodes, that's travelers on the omnibus at gmail.com. Again, that is travelers, 1L, on the omnibus at gmail.com. Jody, where else can they get in touch with us?
You can message us directly on Spotify and take part in any polls we may have going.
Absolutely. And if you are enjoying the show and you want to tell other friends, but don't necessarily listen on the channel that you're listening on, we are available on Spotify, Apple, Google, and Amazon.
Saga.
Absolutely.
Any feedback?
No feedback this week. I'm kind of thankful for that because, let me ask this real quick. With the heat wave that's been going on, has sleep been weird for y'all?
Oh, I've been miserable.
Yeah.
So...
I like how it's like, oh, I'm fucking all.
I'm next.
It's been especially hard with my work schedule because I'm already sleeping in the day.
Yeah.
The fact that the day is now hotter, I'm constantly like waking up in like sweats, and I have to like bump the AC all the way to down. I'm like, there's no numbers, just down,
just down all the way.
Yeah.
And so that on top of like just being exhausted going into work for those graveyard shifts, it's just the heat is miserable for me.
So I deliver pizzas for a living, just for the audience, in case you didn't know. I'm not gonna tell you what company, but fuck 'em. Anyway, I don't have AC in my car. And so like in between deliveries, if it's really really fucking hot, to douse my whole head in like water under the sink in the bathroom. And I would take a delivery, and about halfway through the first delivery, 5-10 minutes away, my hair would be bone dry. So one of those days in the middle of last week, the heat index was 118 degrees.
Yeah.
So that was awful. It was so bad that like Friday, after I got off work, I take a cold shower and kind of like cool down or whatever, and I come up to the shop, hang out at the shop, and my buddy Nick hadn't been around for a couple months. He's been out of state working and everything, Nick Krebs. And he's like, hey, everybody want to come over to my house later or whatever. And so like everybody's like kind of like standing outside the shop after the shop closed for a little bit, BSing or whatever. And I just feel really fucking exhausted. And I was like, you know what? Like, I got to go home. And I normally only get like maybe 4 hours of sleep because I have really terrible sleeping disorders, insomnia, and things of that nature. I slept 12 hours.
Jesus.
I slept 12 hours. I woke up at noon Saturday after going to bed noon Friday. Midnight, 12:30 or something like that Friday.
I have no doctor certification or anything, but I'm diagnosing you with heat exhaustion.
Well, yeah, that's definitely something that happened there, for sure. But but I was fine after that when I woke up. I have had a legitimate heat exhaustion where it was like really close to something really bad, like a few years back. But thankfully, the car I'm driving now is much more lighter, so more reflection there and more. I've consumed massive amounts of water on top of all that. So, but yes, last week was fucking atrocious. To be dealing with August and September heat at the end of June is not what you want.
So, my last job before I started working with Jay, the only job description I had was to go outside and collect the buggies from people after they use them. It was one of the, I want to say it was July of last year, a few years ago. I got a sunburn on my shoulders just from walking back and forth outside.
I got a sunburn on the side of my neck just from the sun coming in on my car. From that, and the concrete, it's like it's 10 more, 15 more degrees when you're on concrete like that.
So, Ed, not to one up, but it's just the way the circumstances are rolled. You don't have AC in your car. I don't have AC in my house.
Right.
So last week, I can't remember. It was one of the days. It was one of the shop days. I can't remember if it was Wednesday or Thursday. I woke up and it was 90 degrees in my room.
Right.
I got a small humidifier, dehumidifier. Dehumidifier. I turned that on before I went to bed. When I woke up, it hit its auto shut off because its tray was completely full in just the 7 hours I had been sleeping.
Right.
So that was crazy. But the one that scared the shit out of me, Friday, I woke up with insane cramps in my legs.
Oh God.
And I realized, wait a minute. Normally I've been I had over Thursday and Friday I hadn't drank that much water. I was so dehydrated sleeping.
Right.
That I woke up with I almost called in.
Right.
I almost called in and it was like, no, after about 10 minutes of walking, it all kind of just worked itself out. But it also required half a pitcher of my gallon and a half pitcher of Brita water. That's
when you know that you've got dehydration is when you start getting cramps like that.
So I right before every day going to bed this week, it's been fill that pitcher up and then down the whole thing before you go to bed.
As much as and as awful as it is to not have AC in the car and having to deliver pizzas all day, I will take the trade off of not having it in the car versus not having it in the house.
Getting to bed and getting up are the hardest parts. Once I'm unconscious,
you're out.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm just out. It's just okay, I'm one with the universe right now. Right. But it's just, glad.
That being said.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, again, travelers on the Omnibus at gmail.com. And with that, it is time for the main event. So we have this little thing, the Mixmaster Mastertape list, and I got to pick it this time. And so decided to go with a band that I thought was kind of a shared amongst all of us, and that is the band Ghost, or Ghost B.C. And we're going to be talking about what I'd like to call, hopefully, their middle period, as they hopefully have many, many more years after this as to produce more good and amazing music for us. But we're going to be talking about Meliora, Prequelle, and Impera, their last three major studio albums that were not cover albums. I always forget the name of the cover album they just came out with.
Phantomime.
Phantomime, thank you very much. That is the most recent, but we will not be discussing on this one. So, gentlemen, where would you like to start? Possibly with Meliora, since that is the one most distant in the past, or would you like to start on, or just something general on that? So,
I've only listened to one Ghost song before listening to these three albums.
No, Jesus, you pushed him into the deep end.
Yeah.
So
we could have done the full five. We could have hit him with Opus Eponymous and Infinitesium.
What was your one?
Mary on the Cross.
The TikTok song.
Yeah.
It's catchy. It has a nice flow.
That's why it's the TikTok song.
Yeah.
It's on the EP 7 Inches of Satanic Panic.
It's also on the Message to the Clergy EP as well.
Yeah.
That's their greatest hits at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I had no idea Ghost has been around since, they had formed in 2006.
But the lore is the stuff from 7 Inches of Satanic Panic is from Papa Nil in the 60s.
Oh.
He formed the band and then they went away because Sister Imperator caught him smooching some other chicks and she got mad at that and it caused a fall.
And there's also they had an offspring that's also one of the iterations.
Okay, all of the Papa Emeritus 1 through 4, 1 through 3.
Yeah, 1 through 3
are all the offspring
Bastard
of Papa.
sons.
They're the offspring of Papa Nil.
Oh, okay.
Who we're getting into deep lore here.
This
so
is actually a
Ghost lore.
There's a good part about
and
this. 'cause,
before
just in case you don't
Prequelle,
know.
they killed off the Papa line, and then they brought in Cardinal Copia. Okay, and then in this last album, he ascended to, because it's technically in lore, it's a different person for each album, but this is the first one where it's the same person. It's just he finally earned the right to be Papa Emeritus the fourth.
Yeah.
And they even, like, if you catch a concert at the right time, there will be an ascension. Like there was literally like the ascension from Cardinal Copia to Papa Emeritus.
I saw the YouTube
in, like,
video
Mexico
for that.
City.
Yeah, I saw the
or something
YouTube
like
video for that one.
But there's like each of them, like when they unveil it, there's a big thing. So that's like a once every blue moon type of concert for you
And
to
it
get.
gets even harder because it's all the same person playing the characters.
Oh yeah. It's the same
So,
guy. It's the same. It's
like,
Tobias
Bias
Forge.
Forge.
There's no voice changing.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
But
anything
it's
to say, this is
but the
1 or 4 or 3.
But the mask looks a little bit different. They act a little bit different. They have there's like a whole web series just about where you can see like all of this shit
and some
happening.
of that shit's funny. I
It's
saw
really funny.
the concert video in Miami for Mariana Cross. He starts before he starts singing. Goes, "This is a song my papa used to sing."
Yeah, that's why he said that, is because in the canon he is.
Right.
They even did like a museum tour thing where it was like, oh, the hidden history of Ghost, and it was like all the shit from the fucking and in every album they also like the nameless ghouls who he plays with. It changes how they look. He wears different outfits and shit. Like it's a whole thing.
But yeah, like I'm like freshly new to Ghost at the beginning of this, so I've taken notes on every single.
That is a
song
large
of-
notebook.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on. Let me grab my notebook.
Yes, as you pull out your possibly Samsung phone.
Some people put
No.
way more
No.
effort.
No,
He's
I
got a full-on
wrote
composition.
notes. I bought this composition book today.
It is the black and white, like, marbled cover composition book from your 5th grade class.
This is the first page of Meliora.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
You have your class schedule on the actual like cover.
I'm
of it. Yeah.
Don't worry, I made less notes than you, so don't worry about it.
Yes, I didn't make that many notes.
So, and with like the beginning song, Spirit, like the 2 things that stick out to me is like
This is off of Meliora.
yes,
Yeah,
off of
Meliora is the first album
Right.
we're going to be going
And
over.
Spirit's
It,
the
it
first
is
song.
as if I'm opening Dracula's crypt in outer space, and also Beelzebub from Tenacious D. is
Yeah.
on
So
drums.
the description I wrote for Spirit is starts with a 50s sci-fi spooky reoccurring haunting chord progression of possibilities.
Yeah,
Yes.
this one uses a theremin quite a bit throughout this.
possibilities.
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, there is no song with bad guitar or drum sections.
Oh no,
Like
no.
every bit of the guitars are fantastic.
So the studio recordings, a lot of them are reported to be the lead singer. Is it Tobias Forge, I think is his
Yeah.
name? He's doing most of the work. In fact, I
Yep.
think he said was one of the albums he said was just him and a session drummer. So
I believe
he
it.
does all the
Yeah.
recordings, and then he hires session musicians to be the faces.
Yeah, I think this last one, he's actually gotten. I can't remember who, but there's like a couple of like actual well-known guitarists who are playing for him this time. But yeah, and it grows like in Meliora, it's really just like a 5-piece band, I think. But he gets like he adds in nameless ghoulettes and who do like the organ and the keyboards and shit like that.
I also graded all of my songs, so whenever we go to the
damn.
next one,
I did read that apparently Dave Grohl has dressed up and performed with the band
I believe
as
it.
a Facial School.
Oh, I
which-
absolutely
I believe it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So I gave Spirit an A. Okay, so
I didn't go as far as like gradings. I just put a check mark about the songs I
like Spirit, but it's
liked.
not it's not
Yeah.
so I really like Ghost, but there are some songs that I just don't listen to all that much. And it's with like there's no like one album to me that's like all the way through. Like I love every song on there.
oh yeah, I have different grades.
There's just
for most of the
there's just
so.
songs that I'm like, okay, this I can listen to. This I'll put in my playlist.
So from the pinnacle to the pit, I said heavy bass intro feels like the 1993 Doom theme for a little bit there. Harmonic solo, guitar solos, which is in pretty much like every one of their
this album is like really operatic and melodic and bombastic.
I greatly, and just to get this point, I greatly appreciate Forge's desire to get melody into metal, like proper, like you have other instances in the other, and there's definitely, at the very least, inspirations for him going into these albums. Metallica, I think. Ozzy, not Ozzy, Black Sabbath, but Dio Black Sabbath.
There's Dio Black Sabbath in there. There is on certain songs that I will refer to later on in another album where there's a lot of Iron Maiden, and definitely when they're doing the just chords, the chugging chords. There's a lot of Megadeth in there. In that as well.
This song made me feel like I was about to rob a church. Like a dun 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 dun.
Yeah, Pinnacle of the Pits. That's like the second song that I ever heard from Ghost.
I like how pointed he gets with the chorus from the pinnacle
to the pit.
But there's that gap to let you.
There's a breather.
There's so that you can breathe out. Then he punches you right in the heart again.
And this is the song that I would usually. It's like, hey, I've been listening to this band called Ghost. Listen to this song because this song gets right to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the first song that most people hear from Ghost is Cerise. We're
gonna get to that next.
Which is literally the next song.
But it just takes so long. Like I can't sit here and say, "Hey, listen to this song," and then it has such a long setup before it actually gets into it. To where I was like, "Oh, I can't have them listen to this song because they're gonna be like, what the fuck is this?"
Right.
I have to get something that's like sharp and to the point.
Pinnacle got an A. Also.
Yeah, Pinnacle is great.
Pinnacle is one of their better options, and I don't think there's really any bad options in most of their music.
Well, on this,
there's songs that I like.
Let's go
less than
album
others,
to album
but
on that because for me,
no, there's like you said, there's songs that I like less than others.
Well. I'm gonna get to the song I don't really like much at all, but that's later on.
I'm gonna
I'll hold off on that.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
okay, there you go.
Cerise is the third one, right?
Yeah, Cerise is third.
And not counting the deluxe version, I definitely want to cross.
We'll dip into that when we get through.
But if it's not for the deluxe version, this is to me the signature song for the album.
Oh yeah, this is the song that most like. This is the song that I first heard. I was like, what the fuck is this?
This is hands down my favorite song.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album. Okay.
I don't listen to it as much because I've just listened to it so much.
So I said this is what I wrote. Opens with a very haunting riff. There's like a guitar riff in there, and then it slows down to like a like it feels like Seek and Destroy from Metallica. A little just inspirational, not like them
speed, yes, but not the heaviness.
Right. Just the feel of it.
I could co-sign on that.
Very cool. I like Cerise a lot because there's a lot of different like melodic changes, shifts, and breakdowns. They phase into like solos and the organs and it's just really you could just feel the
This song is great live because it starts with the two guitarists having like a duel off. And then they go into this song and it's really, at least that's what they did. This was a few years ago that I went and actually saw them. I think they change up their the way they do things.
Cerise, I gave an A+.
Yeah,
A+ to a Cerise.
This is one that when I listen to it constantly, I'm picturing a stadium full, like I'm picturing WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and somebody debuting to the entire song.
Cerise has
standing out there.
Cerise has an awesome music video for it.
Yeah,
too.
the music video is really really good.
Incidentally, I want to bring up here, I believe Cerise won the 2016 Grammy for Best Metal Song for that year. Again, we all have our generous issues with the Grammys, but I do want to point out that the Grammys did recognize this song as being the best metal.
And they showed up and they in all their garb.
Cerise is probably tied for my favorite song on the album.
And then the next one is the harps. It's the Spoke Sonnet or
Spook Sonat.
Spook Sonnet.
Which is
in Swedish, Ghost Sonata.
Ghost Sonata, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
yeah.
And so it's just harps for.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah, they do some. They like doing instrumental songs. Sometimes they're a little bit short, like an interlude, and sometimes they're just a full song.
right.
They are very, very. Their interludes are very, very good. Spoke Sonat is one of my favorite songs of theirs. Is an interlude, and we'll get to more of that in the next album. But yeah,
I couldn't think of the word. I couldn't think of interlude when I first made my notes. I said intermission song.
Yeah.
Ukulele.
yeah,
That
Because that's what
works.
it reminded me.
Yeah, that
It's
works.
Ukulele.
So I want to. I hate hijacking this, but I just want to say like
you have energy. I'm totally cool with this, sir. Go for it.
So this is the next song. Also, the title gives it away, but for every song that it's like blatantly satanic, I write "Hail Satan" next to the title. So starts with classical guitar and then goes into upbeat, cool solos and cooler harmonics.
Yeah.
He is tied with
I gave he is a A+.
I love He Is. There is an alternative version that is a duet with Alison Mosshart, who she's like in 3 bands. I think it's the Kills and the Dead Weather, which is actually like a super group with Jack White.
Okay.
The instrumentation is different, and I like that one so much better.
I'll have to search that one out.
Yeah, if you just it's in like I've seen it's in there. It's not super hard to find.
Yeah.
But it's like that's my favorite version of this song. But this is still a good version of the song.
Like very like evangelical. Like
Yeah.
Really good
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
guitars.
that.
Yeah, this is a very weird music video.
And also the motif of "He Is" that appears again in a later song from them. Like the specific, it's not, and it's a much more biting where he is, and I cannot remember. I don't think it's Helvin. It's not Helvin
you're
Foster.
you're thinking of Faith, but
Faith, yeah.
but it's Faith is
On the
is
next
what he
album.
says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm wondering if that was an intentional like bridge
I
or
don't know.
between the two albums as far as because this one yeah it's softer, it's friendlier.
Yeah.
Whereas in Faith it's just very, very biting, and I think it also goes with the backdrop of the theme of Prequelle, which again we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But,
What you're talking about is something that will come up later when we go over Impera. But
yeah,
that's later.
I've also got notes for Impera where that happens in Impera. Michael, what did you think about He Is? Do you have anything specific about that one song?
No, I mean it sticks out. I enjoy
Yeah.
it.
They usually play this one live when they play it acoustic. They'll just have one of the.
I really want to hear that.
Yeah, there's this one, and then a song off of Infestissima called "Gigolo Harmagito," that they play acoustic. That's really you can find.
I'm
There's
sure.
it's
Now
very,
that I know it exists, I'm
any
gonna
of
look it
them
up
are
online.
like very easy to find online.
Yeah.
And then after just like most bands, like after having like a slowish kind of song like He Has, we go into Mummy Dust, which is a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which chord driven Megadeth like progression with a little bit of King Diamond. That's what I wrote
This
down.
is not a song that I super like, but it was. I will say, it's very fun live because at the end they shoot out streamers.
the back end of this album loses me and it starts here at Mummy Dust.
see that.
There are like that's kind of a theme with most Ghost albums, for me at least.
They
Except
start out strong.
for
they
this
put
one,
their
there's
strong-
a big
like finish.
there's that yeah the we'll get to it.
I gave Mummy Dust an A, and you know that's just
Yeah, Mummy Dust is not my favorite, but
It's not,
like, but it is fun in certain circumstances for me.
This is, I want to say, the heaviest song on the album.
Yeah,
It's one of the heavier songs.
Yeah.
I also made the note is almost as if Bat Metal was playing it.
yeah.
So, just a little ha-ha note.
So Hail Satan, because Majesty is the next song.
Yeah, Majesty's a good one.
I didn't have that much feelings for Majesty. It was like, eh.
Yeah. For me, it opens with like a very to me it sounded like heavy influential sounds from Deep Purple, followed by some chugging chords, with a little, and then it goes into like not Master of Puppets, but you could kind of feel that like that album influence a little bit, and there's some haunting organs as well, on that.
Yeah,
and I gave that an A+.
Mm-hmm. Majesty's good.
With our second and final interlude song, Devil Church.
Yeah,
which I think is a complete Forge creation. For one, because of just the size of it, you don't need.
There's a lot of fanfare in that one too.
Yeah,
a lot of good fanfare and some really good harmonics as well. And then what? Absolution.
Yeah, Absolution is the next to last song.
I wrote Metal as Fuck.
Yeah.
And The Who.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite songs on the album.
A lot of the later songs of this album just kind of blended to me. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't sitting there listening to the music.
Right.
I was multitasking.
I will say that for me personally, I had to like listen to, with the exception of Impera, which I'd already listened to several times. I had to listen to Meliora and Prequelle several times because I would zone out during certain parts, just because you do get at some points you do get some sameness in certain things.
I think it goes back to the point that I think I was alluding to. I think Brady hit more on the head. Is that those first, and I'm so away from the microphone, nobody can hear me say about that. Those first songs in the albums tend to be more distinctive amongst themselves,
right?
And then at the back end, I don't want to say they're throwaway tracks, but they kind of blend for me, with the exception of the final track in this. And really, it's because if there is a favorite title of any song that they have, it doesn't stack up as far as the song goes, but the notion of Deus in absentia,
which is the next song,
which means absent God. It's like, okay, that's there's power just in there.
There's clocks, and then there's like theatrical and a good use of pianos and guitars.
This is my favorite song off the album. And like this, Meliora doesn't go through the pattern of it gets weaker at the end. Prequelle and Impera definitely do for me, but like Deus in absentia, and I haven't really too many times. I think really this is the first time where I've listened to Meliora all the way through. It's I picked back and forth usually with it, because I was just picking out songs when I first started, and listening to them. But man, Deus in absentia is to me, it's my favorite song off the base album.
It's a Pinnacle Ghost, really.
And
no, that's Pinnacle to the Pit.
I was gonna say that. You got me there. Thank you, Michael.
That kind of fake out ending where it's like, oh, this is ending. No, here's another verse, motherfucker.
Right. Here's another minute and a half of the song.
Right.
But yeah, it's a great fucking song.
I've got final thoughts on the album, unless I'm
going to interrupt those final thoughts. When I was initially listening to this, and there's about a couple times I listened to this thing, I was listening on Spotify, and I didn't notice that I was listening to Meliora Deluxe Edition. And I'm like, what is the difference there? And the difference is, what the first 10 songs that we've talked about already is on the original printing of Meliora. They went back and they added 5 more songs. 4 of them are kind of, for lack of a better term, you could take them or leave them. They're okay. I don't hate them. I
didn't think that they really fit with the album, and I understand why
they
are
Nocturnal
part of
Nocturnal Me, I believe, Missionary Man, and Bible, which I think Missionary Man
is
a cover.
These are that's a cover. If I'm not mistaken, there was an EP called Pope Star, and that's where these come from. And I think they've just now mashed them into the deluxe version of Meliora.
And typically, okay, but then the 5th song from that is Square Hammer, which is arguably their best song.
Square Hammer is my favorite song.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's my favorite Ghost song. Period.
Let me ask this to the table. For me, the Meliora album is the deluxe edition. It's all 15 songs. Do you find that the 10 song album is the actual album, or is this kind of maybe like a Blade Runner Ridley Scott thing where they went back and they produced something that is more kin to what Forge wanted when he put this thing initially together?
Well, like you said, they made, because I looked at the years on it, and like the deluxe version is like a year later that they slapped that on there.
I think this was just added on.
They just took the EP and put it at the end of the album.
It's nice to have Square Hammer in an easier to find place.
Also,
but I don't think it's
also
necessary.
logistically, if you have an album come out and then there's a deluxe version that adds to your, like, it's the same title, so we can get gold or platinum for selling the, however
quite
many,
possible if they did that,
copies of it as well. I personally don't think Square Hammer fits with the theme of Meliora. I would think that it would probably be more to be on Prequelle.
Prequelle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, these first 3 albums that they did didn't really have much in the way of theme, but they did. Just really quick, there was because their first 2 albums, like, they got progressively less harder and more like melodic and operatic.
Pop adjacent.
I wouldn't even necessarily say that, but
I wouldn't say
but
pop.
like
I think pop came to them more than they went to pop.
but just kind of that more operatic, melodic type stuff, as opposed to their earlier stuff is a little bit can be a little bit harsher and harder. There's more stuff like Mummy Dust and stuff like
right. I was talking to Jay.
Albums.
Me and Jay were talking on the way up here, and I was saying, like, me personally, I don't feel like pop really. I feel like, a lot of the more upbeat, just classic 80s metal songs, especially when we get a little bit later on. There are certain songs from Iron Maiden, not all of them. There are certain songs from even,
well, there are definitely times where they like pick from, and I very much argue it's clear on these next 2 albums that we're going to talk about, but like the 7 Inches of Satanic Panic,
right?
Those are 60s rock,
right.
Mary on a Cross and Kiss the Go-Go, like those are very like heavily influenced by like 60s.
Right.
Kiss the Go-Go is a straight up 60s song.
Oh yeah,
right.
You could put
that album cover is completely 60s.
Yeah, yeah. You could be dancing with go-go boots on with that, definitely.
And the video for Kiss the Go-Go is in the 60s. Like,
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's Papa Nil with the original Nameless
So
Ghouls.
my final thoughts on Meliora as the 10-track album is it's a solid album from beginning to end. That's just my personal opinion, with divine progressions at the beginning and with spirit to the epic nature of Cerise through the finale of Deus Absentia. That's how I feel, and I give the album overall score of A. That's just how I feel about it.
I scored it on the 8 songs, excluding the interlude songs. I gave it a 4 out of 8.
So halfway through.
Yeah.
For me, I include those, and I'll also include the 5 from the because mine is going to be the review of the deluxe. With Square Hammer on there, this is like an 8.5 out of it. Without it on there, it's an 8. Because I do believe there's more bloat with those other 4 songs, especially you said the Eurythmics. I think you said was the cover for Missionary Man. Yeah. But yeah, this is a solid album like throughout, with the exception of it until Deus and Absentia. It starts to lull on me once you get to Mummy Dust. That first half is just exceedingly strong in my opinion. So yeah.
This is with. I like Ghost. Oh, like I said, I like Ghost overall. It's really hard. I don't listen to the albums all the way through. I pick the things that I really, really like, and I listen the fuck out of them. This one is it's hard for me to put a number on it, to be quite honest. But I think it is a really good album, and there's a reason that this is the album that they kind of blew up. But compared to I don't know. There's really good stuff on all their earlier the albums that came before this as well. I don't know. Probably, I would probably give it like an 8 if I had to put a gun to my head, put a number to it.
I'm probably right there with you. If I don't know that I can pick a number. I'll pick one obviously because everybody else, but.
Peer pressure.
Well, I said A, not 8.
But
yeah. We're giving. He's giving it out of 8.
Yeah,
we're giving it out of 10.
Yeah,
we're all over. You're giving letter grades. We're all over the fucking place.
The old Reddit meme. It's a perfect 5 out of 7.
Yeah.
But, no. If I was forced to pick one Ghost album to listen to, and I could only ever listen to that album by Ghost, it would be this one.
I'm gonna give it a rating by Tumblr. It is a perfect Benedict Cumberbatch from Sherlock out of Jensen Ackles from Supernatural.
I'm gonna give it a ring around the rosies, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes. We all.
Are you trying to get us into the next album?
Yeah. Yep.
He is.
We're just gonna keep on Meliora, baby. No, there you go.
Shit.
No, it is the summer of 2018, June, in fact, and it is the release date of Prequelle, which its theme carries this so much, in my opinion. At the very least, this is an album completely about the Black Death, about the plague, and about medieval times, and just wanting to smooch somebody.
Yeah.
So, so I'm listening to Ashes, and it's like, I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting Ring Around the Rosie.
You didn't expect an interlude song to start.
Do you
the
know
album.
why?
You got to lead up into the Rat song, man.
Do you know why that song, why Ring Around the Rosies is at the beginning of this? It's a poem about the bubonic plague.
Yeah, like I knew it was it was about the bubonic plague. Originally.
Ring Around the Rosies is the sores.
Yeah.
Pocket full of posies is what you're supposed to keep on you to try to keep it away from you. Ashes to Ashes is them burning the bodies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So for Ashes, Tobias Forge's daughter performs.
Oh,
the
nice.
song. So that's kind of
a neat thing.
note. Yeah.
That's a neat thing.
But like as I'm writing this, like it's like halfway, and that's when like the
Rats kicks in.
no, it's like it's like that's when like the guitar hits in. Like I stop. And I'm like, okay, there's no need to scare me like that.
Yeah.
And so,
We got to lead into the Rat song.
I was not expecting a transition.
Well,
I was not expecting.
Well, if
transition.
you knew what really caused the bubonic plague,
Yeah,
or
it's
what
bad.
carried
Yeah, rodents,
the bubonic plague, it was
Rats.
rats. Oh.
Which complete like because this was like almost a year ago. So me and Brady are at we're talking about Ghost of all things at the Sonic, waiting on our delicious Sonic foods.
20 minutes.
And it's like, I wonder if, and we're listening to Rats, and it's like, I'm pretty sure that came from Renfield and Dracula. It's like, have you ever seen Dracula? And he hadn't seen that part. It's like, okay, hang on, wait a minute. And I'm like, find that. I had to go to a second register in order to get our order because the orders were taking too long. And I was like, you just tell me what you think about when I come back from this. And so we got all our food in there and sit down. It's like, so was it? It's like, yeah, I'm pretty much sure that's what they picked up from there. That's such a great chorus.
You cannot listen to Rats without listening to Ashes first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you can't.
You
can.
need Ashes to go into Rats.
This is again, I'm going to give the perspective of having seen them live once. Tobias Forge made this to be like an opening song because he wants because they had been opening with Square Hammer. And he was like, I want another song to open the thing, and like there's no like band that happens before them. It's just when it's time for them, they start playing this, and the curtain comes up, and it's fucking awesome. Yeah. This is a great introductory song.
So Rats, my description of Rats, metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Glam rock and hardcore metal like sensibilities like mixed in.
I think a lot of what they took in this one is 70s, very 70s inspired.
There's also some heavy Megadeth chords, the chugging chords that you hear in there, and amazing guitar solos.
Oh, absolutely.
A plus.
Yeah. Rats is phenomenal.
Should we tell them the Ricky story?
Yeah. So,
Oh, yeah. We have two people that can tell the Ricky
I
story.
remember you telling the story.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Ricky Shows. I can say his name because he's not gonna fucking listen to this.
That's bitter, man.
Was he was one of the ones who went with me to see this. Jason Holder, Jason Sims, and I believe it was just him. I believe it was just us four. We went to Mobile to the Sanger Theater to see them. And Ricky was super excited to see them, and Rats is his favorite song, and he didn't want it to be, and he was so bummed the entire fucking time because it was the opening song. And I was like, dude, the guy made it to be.
You were pre-explaining that fact.
Yeah,
to him
he was
too.
like, oh yeah, I hope they close on Rats. I hope they close on Rats. And I was like, dude, he made it to be an introductory song. He has said that. Like,
so what did they close on?
I believe they closed on Square Hammer.
Yeah.
That's
Hell
usually
yeah.
what they close on.
Open
now.
with a banger, close with a banger.
I know I know recently that's what I can't remember exactly, but I think they did If You Have Ghosts, and then they did Square Hammer as kind of the closing song.
So he was disappointed.
Oh yeah, he was kind of butthurt the entire time. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is a fucking awesome.
Well, first of all, they played it.
It was a 3-hour fucking concert, and it was just them. There's no introductory band.
Yeah,
they have like a 10-minute. They have a 10-minute intermission, and there's costume changes. He changes.
Imagine all of that like gear that the Faces Ghouls have to wear performing for 3 hours in that.
Oh, now like. So then they just had like those kind of plastic masks,
like the Greek looking plastic masks.
Yeah,
like
the ones that they have
stuff.
that were they were chrome, and they had like the mouth, but they had but they have like a face mask covering it, so it's black. Now they have like these big leather like gas mask looking things on that have like these like goggles. So now now they have even more shit on their heads. And it's I'm like, what the fuck? Just the fact that Tobias Forge, for people who don't know, when he plays it, he has a rubber mask on when he is singing, and he does that, and he has that on through the whole fucking thing, and he changes costumes like 20 times. Like, he will change in the middle of a song. Like, it is fucking crazy. Like, he has a few. They play like some instrumental songs, so he has like some rests, but like he's just like, and they're like opulent changes. Like, he will come out, dressed in like the big Pope hat and everything like that, and then now they have another kind of like Pope looking hat. It's not like the pointy one, but there's another one that's like curled up. You just gotta fucking look it up and see all the crazy shit that he wears.
So after Rats, or did you want to say something else about Rats?
The notes I put for that is, holy shit, that transition. They know their guitars so good.
Yeah.
Very even.
Yeah.
Rats.
Well, no, I love the drums going in from Ashes into.
Oh yeah,
the drums
that
too.
drum star is
for
just like so fucking good.
Then we have Faith.
Yeah.
Which is like, I write King Diamond solo progressions into Doom 93 again.
Yeah.
Very much.
Faith is one of my favorite.
Really good
songs.
solos
Just
as well.
A banger after following a banger.
It's either Rats or Faith, or there's another song that we'll talk about later that it's very hard for me to choose a favorite song off of this album.
Do we want to talk about Faith a little bit, or do we want to move on to
That's
the
the
next
one that goes he is.
No, it says
or is that,
he says Faith is
okay.
mine.
See, okay. See, I always in my brain I hear he is. And I don't know if that's
he uses the word feckle in this.
Yep.
That's really fun.
Yeah.
Luddites.
And it's like halfway in the song, just like a cacophony of like organs come out of nowhere. It's like,
Oh yeah. This is a band that knows how to use their organ sounds.
yes. Like the pianos, the guitars, and the drums.
you kind of have to,
Yeah.
given the theme. Like,
Just-
if your organs aren't on point, you're
Oh
not gonna
yeah,
make
yeah.
it.
You can't do Satan music without
Now, don't
organ.
lynch.
I
Don't
don't
lynch me,
listen to a
guys.
whole lot of
Yeah.
like, I'm not a huge sit down and listen to music.
Right.
But it just seems such a breath of fresh air to me having the organs in the music.
That's
It's
how I
like,
feel too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You listen to a lot of music these days, and it's just all guitar, all drum,
Mm-hmm.
and then but you add in the piano, and then in this case you add in the organ, which is organs are amazing.
Oh yeah.
This is
When
what
they're
would
done right.
happen if Billy Joel's 2-man heavy metal group Attila had ever gotten off the ground. just to remind everybody, and particularly Michael, just in case you haven't listened to the episode, and you should listen to the episode. Billy Joel had a 2-man metal group with no guitars, but his organ was attached to a set of Marshall stacks, and people would leave the concerts bleeding from the ears.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
I did give Faith an A minus.
Oh, okay.
I want to say,
I've got to balance it out.
Yeah.
doesn't Faith also transition into See the Light?
I don't remember.
See, I don't think of that as a transition. I think that is a hard cut into it, because that is a very like almost punch to the solar plexus song, and then comes out to a way more like, how best to put this, optimistic Satanism.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Hope you'll see the light. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, they're very positive about their Satanism.
Yeah.
100%. Metal as fuck.
Yeah.
Again, perfect mix of vocals and harmonics with piano and guitar.
Yep.
As well as any other time that they do that.
Yeah.
I put envisioning someone rocking a guitar to this song.
Oh, we'll get to the guitar.
Oh yeah. But not
yeah.
before we get to the saxophones, miasma, saxophones.
Oh my God.
There's also a guitar solo in
There is.
I wasn't the last thing I was
yeah.
expecting. was a
Miasma
saxophone.
is one of my favorite songs off this
my-
album as well.
5 minutes of instrumental
So-
with a saxophone. It's amazing.
So this is another one that's great live because when I watched it, they wheel out Papa Nil, who is like super old,
Right.
And he and then they give him a saxophone, and then he wails on the saxophone.
Yeah.
So in lore, Papa Nil is dead now. So they wheel him out in a coffin, and then they jumpstart his heart and give him the saxophone, and he does the saxophone solo,
And then dies.
and then
at the end of
dies
it.
again, and they wheel him back to the back.
The one I saw, so I saw the YouTube video where he's playing the saxophone. I think this is where the actual transition happened from one to the other.
Yeah.
Because they have him do the saxophone, and then they have like a bunch of nuns like attack him, and then Copa comes out on a bicycle.
Yeah, I think they killed Papa Nil in order because he didn't want Cardinal Copia to take over.
Right.
He's like very against Cardinal Copia. He didn't even want him to take over on Prequelle. But then I think they killed him, and then because he is dead canonically.
And Copia like rides the bicycle on stage, points up at what's happening, and then a bunch of these nuns surround him, and then all of a sudden he's got
That's
got
when he
the
ascended
gear.
as Papa Emeritus the Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
that's-
emeritus is the title for a pope when a pope retires, which happens when a pope dies.
Yep. Mhm.
Not necessarily.
Not
we have a
necessarily.
retired pope right now.
Yeah, no.
Well, didn't he die recently?
Yeah,
or
he
is
died. He died recently, but he had the of Pope Emeritus.
Yeah.
But it's any rank in the Catholic Church because my favorite priest of all time, Father James Hannon, Monsignor Emeritus. It's like he still lived. I can't wherever the priests like the barn. He was put in the barn and
Upstate.
Upstate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, still down here. Still down here.
Was he sent to a farm?
Yeah.
No,
Was
no,
he
he
sent
wasn't
to
sent
live
to
on a farm?
He has.
Farm to farm.
There's a story I literally cannot tell on the show that he told me. I think I've told one or two of you at this table.
That's probably
so-
the one that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Did it involve a beating?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
It involved an assault. Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
so I haven't told you, Michael. After the show, I'm gonna tell you this.
We've told me.
Oh, you told? Okay.
Yeah.
Father Monsignor Hannon was like one of my favorite human beings on the planet. Yeah, God bless you, sir. I'm sorry you're no longer with us for almost decades now, but I mean it's just the way it is. But yeah, no, his final title was Monsignor Emeritus. Yeah, Monsignor Emeritus, and so it's basically it's retired.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to be with you in the moonlight.
Yep. Mhm.
My favorite ghost song.
Dance
period.
McCart.
This is a very good.
Oh, this is a
very
great
good
one.
Yeah.
For me, it's probably as much as I love Square Hammer. And some, it's a toss up between Cerise or Dance Macabre, and I give it to Cerise.
Yeah, this is definitely another one of those that got people into the band.
For me, this is one of the greatest love songs ever written. Just period. of all
I
time.
write very Iron Maiden like open, heavy steady bass, perfect chorus.
And the video for it is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is I think that's supposed to be the
That was the beginning.
origin of
Yeah.
Papa Nil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think this,
But
may-
like the music videos aren't perfect because like the pinnacle of the pit shows the somebody becoming Papa Emeritus the third, and that's not necessarily it's weird, you know.
I think this may have been the song that I used to introduce Caitlin to Ghost.
This is oftentimes somebody if they
this-
you can get them into
She's
to
not
with
a
this
huge
one.
heavy metal fan, but I think this is the one I used to kind of introduce her to it.
Yeah, somebody who
She
doesn't
immediately added it to her Spotify
who doesn't like
list.
that stuff, like they can like you can like Mariana Cross is one of the ones that you can do nowadays, but like this is definitely one that you can do.
I
that
haven't
with.
actively listened to metal in a very long time because it's been garbage up until
yeah.
like the mid to late 2000s, and then it started picking back up again.
I've never heard of this song, but I've like heard it in like passing. Like
Yeah.
I've always like it's been played on a radio. Someone's playing it from their phone, and it's like, oh, that's catchy. I wonder what that is. But yeah, no.
You can get a girl to slow dance to you with this song. Marry that girl.
Bianca, would you slow dance with me to the song?
Dance Macabre.
I'll show you. I'll let you listen to it later.
It's too late. You're already engaged. Anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
I gave this song a A+.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a great song.
A+.
Very good song.
I'll take his
Great,
A plus
great
and I'll
song.
copy. It's not an A plus for me, but no,
yeah,
my favorite Ghost song of all time.
Then we go to Hail Satan. Pro Memora.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I've always said Pro Memoria.
Pro Memoria,
Pro
for the
Memoria.
sake of memory
Yeah.
in Latin.
Piano's coming slowly. This is black metal as fuck.
Yeah, this is a song that I don't particularly like
It's
all that much.
definitely like a heavy shift of energy.
Those organs that run into the piano, A++. That's how I felt about this one.
Okay,
So
yeah, this is one that I'm not super crazy about.
I liked it, but it's not. It's just not up there for me. It's not bad. But I liked it.
I typically skip this song to go straight to the next song, which is Witch Image, which is another one of my favorite songs.
Which
from
image
them.
is good.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but
a
it's
lot
good.
of-
It's not one that I listen to all the
I
time,
like
but I
the
like it.
consistent organ in the background of this, where it just kind of plays through and just keeps and more so than the drums, it's what's keeping the rhythm in the song.
So there was something I noticed when I listened to this album the second or third time. When it came to Witch Image, it's here's my description, and then there's a note for something. Classic 80s metal open. It has similar vocal breakdowns like in Rats, and that's not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gonna
can
pull
see that.
from a good song,
Right.
that's the way it is.
I wrote can and will head bop to this song.
Yeah, Witch Image
Yeah.
is really good.
Yeah.
I gave it an A.
While you sleep in earthly delight. Yeah, and then just the trail in from that. Just again, like Pro Memoria usually gets skipped just so I can get to this song next.
I'm not going to pronounce the Satanic Waltz that's next.
Helvetis Funster.
Yeah, there you go.
Or
Uh,
Hell Window.
Yeah, Swedish for Hell Window, which is in the Middle Ages, women's dresses had a cut down the side that was open. They usually wore something under that, but if they didn't wear anything under that, you could look through that and see their naughty bits, and thus be sent to hell because you saw a woman's naughty bits and you weren't married to her.
Oh no!
And that's how it worked in the medieval times.
And so they wrote a song about it 2,000 years later.
Yeah.
I wrote didn't think to translate the song until now. There's the keto again.
Yep.
When do you think the Middle Ages were?
Yeah, I was gonna let it go. I was gonna let it.
0 to 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure. That's
100%
definitely when
accurate.
the
If
when
you
the Middle
round
Ages were.
1,500 up, it's 2,000. God damn it!
Yeah,
Look, all you gotta know is at one point Rome was trying to take over the whole entire continent that was England and Wales and all that, and then they did, and then me and Jay had a conversation about this a couple weeks ago.
And then one of the centurions left a sword, and then some of the letters rusted off, and in Latin it wrote Excalibur.
Yeah, that's
And
what
then-
happened.
And that's a very bad movie that you should never watch.
I like Excalibur actually, Jay, but yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
that movie?
What?
You like that movie?
Yeah, I like a lot of movies.
No, you don't. You hate most movies.
That's not true.
As you hate all of them. You're
Yeah,
like,
that's
you're
right.
like you're in the car with me, and I'm like, Jay, I guess I'm gonna tell you. Oh man, okay, this is very. I really actually hate all movies. And
Yeah, that's it.
Except for that one that has Kate Beckinsale and the werewolves. Oh yeah, Van Helsing.
No,
that.
I don't like that movie. Ironically,
Please understand, this was just for that. Now that I've broken Michael Hill, move on to the last song. Someone.
okay, Hail Satan.
Yeah, Hail Satan,
Life
definitely.
Eternal is the next song. Black metal piano. There's a choir vocals. Very nice satanic ballad to close out the album.
Yeah.
A+.
Life Eternal is not one of my favorite. Like again, this song,
Right.
this album kind of loses me halfway through. But it's fine to listen to. It's just not, there's not a lot of songs.
I think for me, like listening to it as a whole album, as a whole experience, I think it's a nice progression for Meliora as far as its consistency, because it's very consistent as a whole.
I will
Yeah.
say that, but that's also a kind of a dead albatross holding it down, because you have Life Eternal, but again, 2 songs beforehand you had Witch Image, which I think is a superior song.
Right.
Life Eternal is okay.
Right.
Witch Image is on a whole other level, and then Dance Macabre is on a entirely different level from that.
Well, you kind of
there's it weighs on the song.
I understand. But I mean, like for me personally, the way the albums are constructed, all three of these albums are constructed, they don't tend to want to like end on a banger metal song. They want to ease you into, you know, wanting more of that. Lead you to wanting more of the songs you heard earlier, so you like want to listen to the next thing they do.
Yeah.
I want to say it was Prequelle that they were trying to record in Nashville, which
Yeah.
let's put the Satanic Band
where
in.
they wanted a choir. They got like three country artists. They were like, "Hey, what are we doing?" And
they wanted a choir.
While you sleep and early delight. This is devil music.
I can't sing this, and then they had to go to another studio in L.A., which there's plenty of people that are like ready to sing satanic shit in L.A. They need money.
Yeah, and that was the thing is they couldn't get any choir to come in to do the
hell no,
parts.
not Nashville.
And so they ended up having to go to L.A.
You gotta go to like L.A. or Athens. Athens, they'll fucking do anything in Athens.
Now, I do have to wonder who thought it was a good idea to put Ghost in Nashville to record their album.
An agent that got fired immediately.
Well, hold on. We are talking about one of the epicenters of music production, not just in the United States, but in the world.
Right.
No,
So,
I
just
understand
from a completely neutral standpoint, it would make sense because of the amount of manpower and edifice that has been put into, again, recording. Some of the best recording studios in the world are in Nashville.
That's true.
I agree with
That's
you 100%
true.
there. But when you look at the theme of this band, the gimmick of the band, anybody who thinks about it for a second is going to realize that Nashville, Tennessee is in the middle of the Bible Belt, and they're not going to get choral performance, especially choral performers.
I will leave it on this note, and it is a metaphor and may not be appropriate, but what the fuck ever. My grandmother always said, Jay, it is the Bible Belt in the morning and the garter belt after night.
Yeah.
That is very true.
So we're going to leave that statement there. I don't want to, and let me just say that I'm not trying to specifically besmirch anyone like that. I will say this, that yes, we think of country music, we think of like bluegrass, and think of Nashville, Tennessee. Again, it is a site for a lot of recording artists. I don't think it's out of the question to say that they wanted to record there. Maybe Tobias Forge recorded something there before Ghost, or has heard something about the acoustics or the teams working as far as recording the songs go. I think there's something there. Yes, to the more like once you know the kind of wrinkles and the details around it, yeah, it's very strange to try to record that in Nashville, and why the production ended up in Los Angeles. I also think maybe Tobias and Ghost in general, I think they try to do something a little more different, particularly once you hit Meliora. I think there's a lot that could be blended between Opus Eponymous and Infantesium. I do believe that. But once you start getting to the Meliora stage, I think it's one of the reasons why I picked these three in particular, is because they're trying to do something different with each album enough to where these albums are distinct enough from one another that you can review them in see different things and hear different things and come at them from different angles.
Every song isn't blatantly about Satan. I mean, not that their early stuff, every song was blatantly about Satan.
I don't necessarily agree with that about Infestism and Opus Eponymous blending together all that much. I feel like each of their albums are fairly distinct enough, but yeah, they are. This is where they start doing more of like theme stuff. Like the album necessarily, it's not necessarily a concept album fully, but it does. Right. But every album,
it has a vibe.
These last two albums, this album and the next album, they definitely have themes to them.
Should we progress to the next album?
Yeah,
just really quick. This is where they start. The Prequelle is where they start having nameless goulettes in the band. There's a couple of extra women's. And they have like women masks. So, and the woman is the one who and one of the goulettes is the one who rocks out on the guitar.
I love the use of the term. A couple of extra women's. Thank you, I appreciate it.
So
we have Impera, right?
Yeah,
Impera, which starts with Imperium as the intro song, which is classic guitar with military like drums, kind of.
See, Prequelle kind of ruined me on
intros,
because I was thinking, oh man, I can't wait for this transition. I can't wait for it. Oh,
but then you got Kaisarian.
Yeah, I got Kaisarian.
Yeah,
Dude, when that falsetto hits, I'm like, I hope this is the whole album.
Like,
Yeah.
But Jay's like, he couldn't have kept that up.
This
but-
is
like the energy just kept.
I don't even think that's him. I think it's one of the other people who do it. At least live, that's how it is. This is if Ghost made an Iron Maiden song, just pure and simple.
Love the energy with drums like no other.
Yeah,
amazing guitar tie-in with the falsetto from the bass as well. Very Iron Maiden and very cool.
Yeah.
I gave it an A+.
Yeah. I knew the
very much
drum work
loved
on this song in particular would catch Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that was his high school love right there. As far
Like
as music
a lot of the things that draw me to these songs, is the guitars, is the pianos, is the drums with all of these, and so I love it. Like if the energy's high and it keeps on throughout it, I love it.
And also I don't know, I don't remember if it happens again, but it's the first song I hear by them where the guitar is melodically doing arpeggio. Which is when you you hit like a C and then you hit a high C and then you hit a higher C and it's like the same note but it's like at a higher scale and so you're running through the scales up and it sounds so beautiful
and clean
and very clean.
Yeah.
So a little bit because this is like one of the only like weirdly named songs on this album. So a little bit of a history lesson with this.
I can't wait.
So the whole thing of Impera is about the rise and fall of an empire. Rome is ostensibly mentioned several times, alluded to, but you could also draw that as a metaphor to America and things like that, the American Empire. So Kaisarian is the German version of Caesarion, who one is Cleopatra and Caesar's son. Now you might think Caesarion, is that C-section Caesarion? Yes. Caesarion was the first recorded C-section, and that's why it was named after him.
Yeah. You just because Kaiser, Caesar.
Yeah, Kaiser and Caesar.
Yeah.
There is actually a Greek poem that was named that was called Kaisarion. That was written in the early, I think it was like 1912. But the Caesarium is also where Hypatia, who was a female teacher and philosopher, was assaulted and executed by the Christians for her pagan beliefs. And there are several times in the kind of operatic thing that they're saying Hypatia, like that is a specific reference to that. This is kind of the song is about kind of an emperor misusing their power. So yeah,
I love this song.
So yeah, this is my absolute favorite song off the album. Like it is
I love
so
Kaisarion.
fucking good.
I want to say, the Kaisarion is also my favorite.
Yeah.
So we follow Kaisarion with another banger.
Yeah, this is
Spillways is fucking hard.
This may be the heaviest front loading of the three albums in my opinion.
yeah. This is absolutely like it drops off in the later in the later part of the album.
It loses me at Hunter's Moon. But Spillways and then followed with the next one, which we'll go into.
There's a tonal shift that happens after Spillways.
Yeah, there's a version of Spillways where it's a duet with the lead singer of Def Leppard.
Oh shit.
It's pretty good. Good.
So my description
Spillways is phenomenal.
My description of Spillways, it starts with that piano banging leading into heavy strumming bass and drums. Everything comes together. It's 80s as fuck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I think this kind of, and I think the reason that they did this song with the dude from Def Leppard is because this is kind of a Def Leppard-y song.
It's definitely
songs
got that
off
vibe.
of this album kind of feel like this is like if Ghost did a song that was this band,
right?
So, they do that very heavily.
Yeah,
in this one.
Kaisarian's Iron Maiden Spillways is very Def Leppard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I had never heard Kaisarian before. Before I listened to it, it immediately jumped out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I was like,
that falsetto kicks in immediately, and you're like, I'm in.
Yeah, just that at the end where it like hits that punching where he's going through the kind of chorus part that's different, and adding it all together is very good. But yeah, Spillways is also like the fucking banger.
So returning back to Satan, hello Satan. Call me Little Sunshine.
Oh yeah.
Call me Miss.
Yeah, this was the first single, I believe. No, Hunter's Moon was the first single off of this. This was the second single. Yeah. This is a really good song. It's got that sinister tone. My super fucking weird
right.
Music video.
This is the one that I'm gonna think of when I think of this album. I'm sure I've heard Hunter's Moon, like before today, but it doesn't stand out in my memory.
Call
Me Little Sunshine.
How many in here has listened to the Megadeth song Lucretia My Dementia?
I haven't. I don't listen to too much.
I know
Megadeth.
of it. I've never listened to it.
So my description is feels a little bit like Unforgiven from Metallica meets Lucretia My Dimension. Black metal as fuck, dark chords with dark melodies and dark tones.
Yeah. It's heavy in a different way.
It's black metal.
It's dark. Yeah,
that's
dark
black metal.
Heavy. Yeah, it's definitely like black metal. Yeah.
Yeah. I gave it an A+. I like Little Sunshine.
Yeah.
My notes are: I am Little Sunshine, and the devil just wants some company.
Man, we've converted Ethan.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Sorry, Bianca. Getting married in a...
She's literally shrugging while looking at her Apple iPad. So
You're getting married in a different kind of church.
Yeah.
It's not an iPad? Okay, it looked like an iPad from here. With her faux iPad.
She got a fancy pen for it.
So,
okay.
So not in sound and I don't even know. For some reason, Dance Macabre and Hunter's Moon has a kind of same vibe for me.
They're very driving, which I like the way it works. And Hunter's Moon was actually on Halloween Kills soundtrack.
Yeah.
Which makes sense with
right.
Fuck that movie, but it makes sense with my
Hunter's Moon didn't really do it for me up until like the last third of the song. It was like, okay,
I just love that driving beat.
I do too.
Like it feels like you're being chased.
Right.
Like this is a song that you play when somebody's
and the
being
harmonies
chased.
are in that song as well. The harmonies return. There's a lot of harmonic stuff going on, and the guitar work is just stellar in that song as well.
Going with the theme of Empire, is this does this song represent the Goths at the fall of Rome?
Quite possibly, I think.
I'm just kind of just throwing that one out there.
Like I blew my wad on Kaisarian, so I didn't look super.
To be fair, you start digging, and then you have to branch off into 3 different veins in order to figure out what's going on with there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't want to get out the cork board and red string.
Also, real quick, Tsar. So Tsar, Kaiser, Caesar, all the same.
Yeah, they all come
etymology.
from the same thing. Yeah.
I gave Hunter's Moon an A. So
yeah.
Watcher in the Sky comes next, and another could be Iron Maiden-ish kind of inspired song.
This is a song. It's not my favorite.
I liked it. I didn't love it like the previous songs. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I like this. I like to watch him.
I didn't.
Of the 3, this is my least. I think my least album. Again, it is so front loaded for me between Imperium, Kaisarian, Spillways, Call Me Little Sunshine. That is such a high mountaintop that everything else that came after it is this steep descent slope on the other side.
Yeah.
Not that they're necessarily bad, but kind of the same way with Life Eternal at the end of Prequelle. There's just so much weight from the early on that to me it just doesn't.
In comparison,
it doesn't compare.
In comparison,
I can see that. Yeah.
Then we have another instrumental like Dominion, which is like horn fanfare and very Clockwork Orange. I got vibes from Clockwork Orange.
I can see that.
It almost reminded me.
I didn't think about that till you just mentioned it. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't get that. I got like Darth Vader's Imperial.
Well,
like
the initial theme to Clockwork.
If you
Orange.
heard the theme from a Clockwork Orange, you might put those together. Maybe.
Because
I don't.
He's not talking metaphorically. I'm
talking about the actual soundtrack.
The actual theme to Clockwork Orange, the starting theme for is literally just horns, just kind of assaulting with a little bit of tech, like
little
early
Moog synth, Moog.
Synth, excuse me, synth.
Moog
right,
synth.
right.
Yeah. I gave that one a B just because, I mean, it's just an instrumental, and I'm not going to give
Yeah,
every
the instrumentals in this one are more like interludes than they are actual. It's
The
not
next song gets my lowest rating of all the Ghost songs. I gave it a B minus. Chaotic horns and progression, heavy guitars. It fits the concept of the anti-establishment because that's
this
also
is 20s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
20s.
Yeah.
It's just like just in your face.
This is
We're gonna do it in the 20s.
this is a bad song, and I fucking love it. I fucking love.
It is
how
terrible. Not terrible. but
purposefully dumb this song is.
It is. Man, in your face.
But also, like, the metaphor is also really good.
It is
because
anti-establishment.
It is talking about how the 1920s led us into some problems, and the
now,
2020s
the
might
2020
lead us
yeah.
into some
Right.
problems.
The song got a chuckle out of me because it got to the point I was like, "We'll grab them by the hoo-has."
Yeah, oh yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
like
you
you
got me.
can't, you can't take this shit seriously.
Yeah.
Wait. I need to establish something. Michael, what did you think of the song?
20s, like just the word of him saying 20s jumped out at me.
Yeah.
That
Listening
kind of
to it.
annoyed me.
in the
But,
20s.
like,
I want to
I'm
establish
with
something.
you because I listen to these so quickly, and
Mm-hmm.
this is another one of those albums. Like I said earlier, it all kind of blended after a little while, and nothing's.
I
like,
do not see how 20s could blend in with
no,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Is 20s jumped out at me, but it wasn't in a. I'm gonna pay attention. to
20s sounds like no other Ghost song.
Yeah,
Yes,
that is
yes.
very true. That is very
Again,
true.
like this might be their worst song, but I fucking love it.
That's fair.
Like I fucking cannot get enough
what
of
I'm
this
trying to
fucking
establish here,
song.
of the 5 people at this table, I think Ethan likes this song the most. Maybe.
I very much doubt
I
that.
got a chuckle. Okay?
How many?
I got a chuckle.
I very
Is-
much
is
doubt.
this-
I don't even ironically like
Right,
it.
right.
I like this song.
This is strange to me, but it's okay. It's okay. We disagree often.
Like I can see it's
what makes it
it's
great.
not a good song.
Yeah.
It's a bad song, but I fucking love it. This is one of the ones like most like there's a lot of humor in Ghost, but not in the songs. And this is one of the songs that actually has that humor. in
Right,
it.
there is a little bit of tongue in cheek in there.
Do you think the band Ylvis, who brought us the Fox,
What does the fox say?
do you think this was an attempt by Tobias Ford to say, I want to do a song like Ylvis
I think it was just I want to
and
do a
sneak
funny
it in
song.
and sneak it in on
I
an
think
album?
he wanted to.
But there's actually like
This
this is
was
a
that
silly
intrusive-
this is a silly dumb song, but like there's actually a lot to this song.
I think another thing too.
This was that intrusive thought that he couldn't get out of his head.
Well, I think
So he
also-
sat down, he wrote a
I
song, and he's
possibly
like,
quite possible.
as an
Possible.
artist, you don't want to be like, even though he's in a big box, you don't want to be put into a box at all. And this song really, to me, represents of, I'm gonna make this song. I don't care if anybody likes it or not. Because it's different than anything I've done so far, and I just want to do something different.
Yeah.
And that's the feel I got. Speaking of different, though, the next song is also something that doesn't sound like Ghost has done before.
The title sounds like a Jim Steinman song.
Darkness of My Love.
Darkness in the Heart of My Love.
Darkness in the heart of my love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sounds like a Motley Crue ballad.
This is I wouldn't even put it in the category of metal ballad, although that fits because a lot of metal ballads could have been pop ballads back in the 80s,
Yeah.
like Close Your Eyes by Ozzy Osbourne and Lita Ford. That's not a metal song.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
a metal.
yeah, 100% not
That's
metal.
not a metal song, and this isn't a metal song, but I liked it. I liked it, even though it's not a metal song, and it doesn't sound like anything else they've done. Swelling instruments feels much like any 80s ballad.
Yeah.
That's what I could have been a Richard Marx song. No, not really. I take that back.
Yeah. you might have had to fight somebody. I'm just going to say that right now.
fight.
Oh my God! If they start grappling, we'll drink the whiskey that's behind us, and we have live.
I
whiskey
will
wrestling.
say
Oh
that
my
the
God, it'd be
chorus
great.
line is very repetitive.
Yes. Yes.
The darkness of my heart, over and over again.
Yeah.
It is. That being said, I gave it an A minus.
Oh, I like the song. Yes, I liked it.
Hail Satan, Griftwood. is the next song. It's a banger. I just put another banger, A+. Like, I've already given all the same descriptions of all the banger songs.
I didn't really like Griftwood.
What? You get out of here.
I mean, past 20s.
Yeah.
I don't love this album.
Yeah,
it's fine to me.
I understand.
It
I
wasn't,
don't hate it, but it's fine.
it wasn't bad, but it's one of those songs where it's like, okay, I'm not going to actively search to listen to Griftwood, but I'm probably not going to listen to it ever again.
Yeah.
Then we have an instrumental, The Bite of Passage.
Now he's just
Yeah.
gone full on fucking tongue-in-cheek fucking jokey bite of passage.
Yeah.
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 Here's a werewolf interlude that's barely half a minute.
Yeah, it's instrumental and haunting.
But hey, it is a transition again.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And then we go.
It is 31 seconds, sir.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is more than a minute, more than half a minute.
It's barely.
Yeah.
I said barely half a minute.
Speaking of quirky titles, Hail Satan, Respite on the Spittle Fields.
Respite of the
Respite of the yeah.
Respite on the Spittlefields.
Solos, metal, and a little screaming. I wasn't really a big fan of when he started like doing the screaming and the vocals.
I like this song all right. It's just like I said. It's the last part of this album is just not my favorite.
See, this is a song where... sorry.
No, it's fine. That's all I was gonna say.
This is a song where I was thinking like, oh, is he mentioning past songs on past albums? Because he mentioned sitting in near the pit. Here talking about the Hunter's Moon in the song.
Okay.
And so I was thinking like, oh shit, is this song referencing past songs from?
It probably
past
is.
albums?
That and also Satan, because I mean the pit
And
is
and also Satan.
eternal. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have that as well. Overall, Imperia. If I was gonna like be forced to put these in like a slot,
You are.
I'm going to. I would say Prequelle followed by as number one, followed by Meliora and Imperia. However, I do enjoy songs on all of these albums. I can see that Imperia has the, as far as drop-offs go, the worst back end of the previous two albums. And I would say that I probably would give the album like probably like an A- or a B compared to the other two. But I mean, that's a pretty high for me. That's a high score.
That's pretty good. Ethan, rank them. Also, actually, real quick, favorite song from all three. Oh, no, not each one. Just what song is a number one? Your favorite song from this group of three albums?
Kaisarian.
If I ranking the album first, I give Imperia a 6 out of 9. So
are you just picking random numbers now at this point?
Nice.
I'm not
4 out of 8. What was Prequelle?
It was 5 out of 8.
5 out of 8.
Yes.
6 out of 9. Why are you making this a math problem?
Are you a Borg?
I'm
Seven
not.
of
I'm going to give
nine.
Impera an ampersand out of parentheses.
I'm not including
if this
the
was
interlude songs
Tumblr,
in the-
I will give it 3 angry lesbians out of 5 chill lesbians.
I'll give it 9 out of 3 galoshes.
Kolaches?
No, galoshes.
9 boots.
Yeah.
9 boots.
I'm giving it 3 margaritas and a glass of wine.
I would give it 6 Keith Lees out of 14 elites. I don't fucking like.
I like the album. I like the album.
Depending on how you rank that, that's either like the worst thing ever, or it's like you gave it a rank of 54 out of 3. Like I don't even know.
So
I don't even know.
You know how the back end of most Ghost albums start falling off? It's just like this show.
Yeah.
Ethan, what is your actual ranking?
So it goes Prequelle to Imperia to
Meliora.
I just realized Ethan with these rankings with these scores is doing like Steiner math.
Oh my God!
You got
Go for it, Whiskey Wrestling.
now Prequelle got a 33% chance of winning. But Meliora got a 55% of that 30% a chance.
Imperia is a genetic freak.
But I got so that's the 66%.
I was gonna let the two of y'all run with that. You could have gone way longer. Holy
It's too
shit.
fucking late for me to be doing Steiner math.
Michael, what do you rank the albums?
Wait,
He didn't even actually rank.
Hang on. Case One is probably my favorite.
Kaiserion.
Go on. Kaiserion. All right.
Hey, K-Swan.
Case one.
It's like fucking Kevin Kelly pronouncing Kazuchika Okada's first fucking name.
He did New Japan for the American side of the comedy.
Said
for
it
10
wrong every
years.
single fucking time.
All the what the fuck. Anyway,
Jeb Harvey.
Yeah.
All right, so
So I'm gonna go order of release. I'm gonna go Meliora, Prequelle, and then Impera.
okay.
that works.
But and like I said that earlier, my favorite song is Cerise.
Yeah, Cerise is really good.
That is hands down. If I want to listen to Ghost,
Mm-hmm.
I'm driving in the car and I want Ghost. I want Cerise.
When he sings the bridge live, like he actually will like sing it to somebody who's in the front of the crowd. Usually,
That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
killer.
That's very cool.
He knows. His, he
in,
knows.
in,
his,
in Mobile, he played it. He sang it to a chick who was in or I don't know. I don't think she was a chick. I think she was a full grown woman who was in a nun costume.
Oh, that's rad.
That's cool. That's very nice. For me, it's gonna be Prequelle, Meliora, Impera, with Dance Macabre being my number one out of that.
Yeah, Dance Macabre, really good.
This one's hard, to be honest. Because Ghost albums are very hit or miss with me. There are songs that I listen to all from each of the albums that I listen to all the fucking time, and then there are just songs that I just you could play it and I probably won't even like it. I won't even be able to say like, oh, it's that song off of that album.
Right.
I might be able to tell you off of the album, but there's just some songs that they're just in my blind spot because I just don't listen to them anymore. So it's very, and all three of these albums, like I said, are hit or miss with me. It's very fucking tough.
Which is the hallmark of a good band. If you got three of their albums, you have the issue with like trying to order them.
Yeah, like my problem is just I don't like there's no album that as a whole I just love. I don't know. Probably, possibly Impera, Meliora, Prequelle.
Okay.
But ask me the 6 months from now, and I might change.
That's fair.
My
Right now, what's your favorite song out of those 13?
Kaiserion is
Kaiserion.
definitely the best one off of there.
popular song.
Because I'm not counting Square Hammer. In
Well,
the deluxe edition.
no, and like if I was to, if we throw like Mary on a Cross and Square Hammer,
Well, yeah, they have
there's
like 2 EPs in between every fucking album.
right.
You still got the first 2 albums.
So you're saying they're just a little prolific.
Oh yeah, they do a lot. There's always like alternate versions of songs that they do.
Some versions of these songs live are way better than the recording. In my opinion.
Also, I
Which
think
They are an excellent band live. Like they sound exactly like the fucking.
And from
You would think some guy singing in a rubber mask would sound so much worse, but like he is so good at it.
And for me saying that, because typically I prefer recording over live. Typically, this is going to be a weird thing to bring in the Ghost episode, but like the live albums from Garth Brooks, I love way more than just his regular recordings.
I can see that.
But that is a way different thing for me than usual.
a live album is what made Kiss popular.
Yeah.
The Alive album. Actually, I think one thing I want to say real quick about musical artists and auteurs and music as well. I think, especially if you've got like a good library of product of music, of albums, singles, EPs, and whatnot, is if you're a fan of them, there's certain songs or even certain albums you can listen to when you're in a mood or you want to be put in a certain mood. That's how I felt back in the day about Nine Inch Nails. Nine Inch Nails, Trent Reznor had enough stuff that I liked to where if I was in a certain mood, I wanted to listen to a certain album or a certain song over and over again. And I can do that with Ghost. That's how I feel about Ghost.
Yeah. So I'm a sucker for a band that has a gimmick. Pretty much most of my favorite bands.
No.
Most of my
Who would have thought?
In fact, probably my top 5 favorite bands have, or groups or artists or however you want to say it, have gimmicks. Like if you
would be what Sleep Token, Ghost, Sleep Token, Sleep Token.
It's Sleep Token, Ghost.
That's a podcast for a different day.
Gorillas.
Y'all do the 5 favorite gimmick bands.
Gorillas and Coheed and Cambria. Like all of those have some kind of gimmick.
I love gimmicks, man.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear Mr. Bungle on your list.
Would you shut the fuck up? Just shut the fuck up.
No. You broke open that tomb.
Oh, please.
You did. No, you did. You did.
Yeah, don't act like you're innocent in this whole thing.
Yeah, but I don't want to listen to it again.
You should have
Then
thought
why
about
did we do it in the first fucking place?
It had been 20 years since I listened to the album.
God fucking damn
It's
it.
not that funny. My ass is on fire. Yeah.
Paraplegic inhuman liar.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. So let's get away from that horrific bullshit.
Please.
Again, so this is one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, I love Ghost.
But to me I don't listen to them album wise. I listen I just like all the songs that I like I just kind of throw together.
Yeah, I can see that.
This is not I'm not going to go back and listen to the complete albums. I'm going to go back. I'm going to pick through some of the ones that I like that I want to hear again. I'm going to pick through some of the ones that maybe I didn't give enough attention to. And listen to those again, but I'm not going to sit and listen through all three,
even saying that though, like this is one of the bands where I have like quite a few of their albums. I have Prequelle, just got Impera. I got the picture disc of that, so it's pretty
nice.
Cool. I have 7 inches of Satanic Panic, and I have Pantomime in vinyl. So like, but I just don't like. They're fine to listen to, every once in a while. But I'm not gonna like. The last time I listened to Prequelle, the whole album all the way through, I just had it on, and I wasn't. I was doing something else while I was doing it. So.
And with all 4 of you talking about it, and even though it's not on the actual like the main Meliora album, I'll probably go back and listen to Square Hammer.
Oh yeah, Square Hammer.
Square Hammer is.
Have you not heard
fun.
Square Hammer?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh, we're listening to it after we're done.
listening to it when we're done.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear it.
You didn't even listen to it like as in the deluxe version, or
I listened to the bass.
He listened to the bass.
listened to the bass version.
So did I.
I'm the only one that went past, only
Square
because I
Hammer
didn't
is
realize I
really
was
fucking-
going past.
Square Hammer is really fucking good. It's but yeah.
I don't
Ghost
want
is
to
fucking
like.
awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to get burnt out on Ghost because I like them so much. Even though that just started this year.
I'll be honest, I have listened to them less because I was listening to them quite a bit.
After this project of me listening to the albums like 9 times each almost, I want to take a break from Ghost, at least from the albums we listen to, because I don't want to get burnt out on them because I really do like them a lot.
Yeah. That's my thoughts on Ghost. So
I like them.
that's good.
I like them. I like them.
I didn't know that you had only listened to like one song of theirs before.
That's awesome.
That is surprising.
That's awesome.
But I'm glad then I called for this because this is pretty good.
Because I was like, oh, we're all very familiar with this.
Like a lot of things that y'all introduced me to, I'm a baby to it. So.
Yeah,
That's very true.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, that's what I get for assuming that you actually knew something. So
Yeah, no,
There you go.
That's on you, my dude.
yeah, that is on me.
Silence your cell phones as a
Get
podcast.
some confidence, my friend.
Oh no! Every time he tries, we beat that out of him.
Yeah. Can't. Yeah. And whatever's left, we have.
We can't let him. We can't let him get too high. We got to smack him back down.
Yeah. Whatever's left.
Then
we
he starts getting all lippy, and we can't have that.
Yeah, there was 1 week I was just like back talking to everyone. It's like, you need to chill the fuck down, my
He
dude.
tried to keep me from like keeping the podcast going last week, even though he was the host, and like I had to regulate.
Yeah.
I had to bring Sarah McLachlan into the equation. It was messed up.
In the arms of an angel.
Yeah, and then she showed.
That's
she
what
gave
we're
us
gonna
the-
get copy struck.
Yeah. If that sounds like Sarah McLachlan, we're scared for you.
Yeah, we won't be
Jesus
caught.
Christ.
You
So-
go down just like Holy Mary, Mariana Cross. All right.
That was Sarah McLachlan's version.
I hope,
of Mariana Cross.
I hope if you haven't listened to Ghost, if you're like Ethan and you're a little baby about this stuff,
Okay, wait a minute. I need to give you some further context. So Bianca looks up at you, and for a second it was like, "How dare you, eyes?" And then it was, "No, that's fair. That's fair, eyes." There we go.
She's having a good time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, she's usually the one berating you, so she's enjoying watching it from
Yeah,
this.
what we don't tear out of you, she takes the rest. I mean, it's just the way it is.
I hope that some of the stuff that we've talked about maybe makes you interested in listening to this band. And even if like, hey, do you want to listen to their music? They also have they have fucking lore. Like again,
There is lore.
I went deep. I haven't even went as deep as possible in this.
Like,
There's-
I thought-
there's like 3 characters I haven't even
You
mentioned.
barely skimmed it.
I
Yeah.
think before finding out about Ghost, I thought Gwar had lore because they have some heavy ass lore.
Yeah.
But nope.
And if I wasn't interested in Ghost, I probably would have never heard of Sleep Token until maybe just very recently, because there was an article where it says like, hey, like Impera had just come out, and there was an article where there was like, hey, if you want to listen to a band that just is all masked people, listen to this band. And I was like, oh, well, let me try them out. They sound interesting. So yeah, but yeah. Also anybody who says like, because there's a constant argument between metalheads about is Ghost metal. Yes, Ghost is metal. Fuck you, calm down, get over yourself.
If Ghost isn't metal, I don't know what the fuck metal is anymore.
There's like that's a big problem that I have with like the metal, like people who are into metal,
They don't sound like Slayer. That doesn't mean they're not metal.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is a very serious problem in metal with gatekeeping.
Yes.
Just is.
Oh yeah, that's always been a problem.
Yeah, it's probably at the worst.
I think that
when
and
it comes
punk
with metal,
punk and
but
metal.
there's a lot of like genres nowadays that are doing gatekeeping.
With punk, I understand it because you're supposed to be counter the culture, and so if too many people join up with it, now you are the culture. What the fuck are we?
It's kind of hard to get your message out if you can't sell fucking albums.
No, I get the side, but the notion of punk being against the system.
But yeah, metal's always had that problem. It's been terrible for a long.
Well, it's also like super granular now. Where is it this subgenre or this subgenre of metal?
Right.
I watched like a YouTube thing where he was like, I'm gonna play you like the different types of metal. And I think this was done tongue in cheek, but I was like, some of these I cannot fucking tell.
Oh yeah,
the difference in.
There's a lot of there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah,
there's a really good documentary done. I can't remember his name, but he is a filmmaker and anthropologist, and it's called Metal. And it's not Heavy the Story of Metal, A Headbanger's Journey. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He also
I've
did
heard of that.
He also did a follow up about metal around the world, which talked about like different countries and how they process metal. And they also did a sub documentary off the first one about Norwegian black metal, which was just it's very good. I think it's Sam Dunn.
Sam Dunn.
It is Sam Dunn.
Does he have a flow chart in it?
I don't think he does. No.
Yeah, because I've seen a documentary of the guy like breaking down all the subgenres of metal, and dude had a flow chart, but it was like a really good one. And it's like
some kind of flow chart.
I may have neglected that in that.
And it's like this is the band that started. This one band started what would become black metal, and then like all those bands, and then like later on, this band started this version of black metal and things like that. Very cool stuff if you want to get into the the meat of it.
There's a timeline.
Oh, there is.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have time for that timeline.
And it's enough off topic that we can't really do it. So, that's the door opening. The bus has entered the station.
I thought the tires were going to flat.
No. These tires are. You're the tires. Remember, we established you are the tires of the omnibus because this place doesn't go anywhere.
I don't remember
without
that
you.
lore.
I don't remember that lore.
It was whenever he was in the void, and
when you came back, and then we just gave you five different
I have
titles.
no memory of this.
You have no memory of anything.
Yeah, as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to forget all of this. Anyway,
Exactly.
This is very true.
There you go.
There are a lot of words we said.
Michael,
It's a good thing that it's all recorded.
Michael, keep that.
I'm not going to listen to it though.
Yeah, I know.
I'm on it, so I don't like the sound of my voice.
Keep that microphone, Michael. Tell us
I've listened to
about
one.
whiskey and wrestling. I didn't know if anyone was going to interrupt me again. Whiskey and wrestling. Tell us about it.
All right, so Whiskey and Wrestling is your favorite podcast if you want to talk about whiskey and wrestling. It's very simple. It's in the name. Jason Holder and I sit down every week, and we drink a nice glass of whiskey, and we talk about what has happened this week in professional wrestling, or sometimes we ignore what has happened this week and just talk about professional wrestling as a whole or whatever we want, because sometimes we don't understand why we're fans of professional wrestling. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Whiskey and Wrestling. You can find us on anywhere you can find your fine podcast, Spotify, Apple, Android, any of those podcasting
Stitcher
places.
before it dies.
I don't like that Michael took one of the easy promos.
Okay. Would you like the other easy promo?
Is there another easy? I think also we could have done better, and we have done better in the past.
God damn.
Well then, hang on. Wait a minute. Do another Whiskey and Wrestling promo.
I don't want to.
Well, then do another promo.
See, that was an easy promo because that's the one that I remember.
It's literally our names. What is your podcast about? Well, we drink whiskey and we talk about wrestling.
Yep.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we usually fight over that one because we remember all
Hey, you
of
actually
it.
got a good MJF angle to talk about, I think, because I love what they're doing.
That's
now.
pretty good stuff.
Yeah, I've got some thoughts on MJF and what they're doing with him right now.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to hear those thoughts, tune in to Whiskey and Wrestling on your favorite podcasting app.
Kevin Shelton and Jared Hubbard host Silence Your Cell Phones, the show about movies, films, movies, TV, and movies. Sometimes they're on YouTube, and sometimes they're on all the platforms. Sometimes they come back again and again. Thanks, Stephen King. 14 times.
I was worried you were going to make a herpes reference.
What?
They keep coming back again and again and again.
He had there's 4 of those fucking movies.
Why are we comparing our friends to herpes now? I'm asking myself because I'm.
Why are you making up shit again? Anyway,
shit? What?
Shit herpes.
Now you're just ignoring anything that we say. And you're just making up whatever you want.
Theology is a podcast.
There we
hosted
go.
by our one and only.
Oh, he took all the other easy
Kite.
ones. Shit, I don't have any ones left.
Exactly. That's why I did this one. He goes on his. He talks about his own personal journey.
Jay, I can't read lips. I don't know why you mouth something to
horror
me.
Movies,
horror movies? What?
Horror
movies.
Horror movies.
I need
Horror
an
movies.
episode of Fearology that is about Debbie Does Dallas. I need
no,
that.
but I will
Hold on.
Please,
There is a
please.
movie that came out last year called Candyland, which is about truck stop hookers, and then one of them is a serial killer.
There's also Frankenhooker.
Yes.
It was an okay movie. It wasn't.
Fearology.
If you want J.L. Kite to review these movies, let him know. Fearology.
Oh, I'd like, yeah, get involved. Let them know on the Travelers Spotify if I should do an episode on
email Travelers on the Omnibus at 1L.
Email me.
But RE Fearology.
Yeah.
RE your brains.
And give him suggestions. He will definitely listen to them.
Yeah,
Text Jason Holder at Whiskey and Wrestling regarding Fearology concepts.
Send out smoke signals to Michael Hill.
You can reach the Whiskey and Wrestling podcast at Whiskey in Wrestling. That's an N, not an and. At gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook. Send us all of your Fearology ideas, and we will pass them along to Jody and
Do you
JL.
have
Censored.
Probably need to cut that.
what? I'm not doxing anyone.
Yeah, but maybe you don't want to tell him to just walk up.
Censored.
Okay. So, on the Behind the Bastards podcast, Robert Evans used to joke about HelloFresh having an island where you could go and hunt children for sport. And he had to stop that because people were writing in and saying, "Hey man, I know you're really you this started out as kind of a joke, but like you keep doing it. Like, are you really getting?" So he had to stop that. So you don't want to ever overestimate the stupidness of people who listen to podcasts.
We've done the joke one time. Well, we won't do it again because that would be creepos.
You fucking whatever. You fucking edit these shits. I'm not gonna listen to it. Whatever.
Censored.
that's a large jump right there. That's a large jump.
Just to remind you that the thoughts and opinions expressed on the Travelers on the Omnibus podcast do not represent the thoughts and opinions of those of us from Whiskey and Wrestling.
Kevin Gallo, a.k.a. Ronan Rooster,
On Twitch.
on Twitch.
And Kevin Gallo on YouTube.
And Kevin Gallo on YouTube, the unofficial Pokédex, Pokeball, unofficial RPG for Pokemon, and also he does the Cyberpunk.
The Dark Future Cyberpunk Red. April Duggan, a.k.a. Apes Place, playing the best in horror games and probably Tears of the Kingdom and all the good stuff there almost every day of the week except Sundays and a day when she wants to take off, which is sometimes rando. There you go.
Is that it?
Brady, tell him about McNarbs, please.
Huh?
But can you tell them about McNarbs, please?
Yeah, go to McNarbs. They have all your board gaming and Magic the Gathering and Pokemon needs.
There you go. Alrighty then. So next week, ladies and gentlemen, Jody's going to take over at the helm. Wait, were you trying to say something?
I was just looking.
Oh, okay, you're just looking. I'm sorry, my bad, man. But Jody takes over as we are going into the Pine Barrens in search of the Jersey Devil in our review and talk over of The Last Broadcast.
The Last Broadcast. Pine Barrens. Jersey Devil. Fact or Fiction was a reality TV show.
Touch him to stop him. Touch him to stop him.
I've been Jody Kite.
I'm James McCarthy.
Bray Davis.
I'm Ethan Skinner.
I've been Michael Hill.
Thanks for stopping by and enjoying the ride.